Hey fellas, back with the oh yeah right. Zem's playing fucking light tanks. What's up with this shit? Um, I typically I haven't played light tanks for a long time, and the RU is one of my probably my most favoritist light tank in the game, and this hasn't because I didn't like it, but usually I've been grinding a lot of lines, so I haven't probably played this tank in a good 6 months, and I'm playing with the infamous Mill Hill and the infamous Jugulator. He's playing his T-49, Mill's playing a Wheezy, and we're off to the races. Um, I'm actually working on these light missions now. Finally, I would just turn them on, and if I get them, I get them. And most of the time, I don't even know what the fuck they are. But now I'm getting pretty close to finishing off the T-55A. In fact, I just had to do a couple light missions to do it. So this is what I've been doing for the last few days is running light missions to try to get them. So I move up. Um, Both me and Jug are trying to get up in here until a wild AMX 1390 literally pops up. Jug hits him for a good 900 and ends up ramming killing him. So now Jug's down to 23%, and we have another AMX 1390 coming in here. I try to head him off, ram him for a nice 574. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to help Jug, um, finish him off. But I end up getting in on the AMX 1390. He clipped out on Jug, so I ended up killing him with for all 1200, and I get another 1000 for spotting. Uh, I tend to favor this side of the map, not just in light tanks, mediums as well. Making up to this position up here is when it comes to at least the tactical part of it, an excellent spot to be. Moving up in here gives you a chance with all those nice big fat TDs back there to rack up some serious spotting damage. Enjoy it. So, move up. They do have one arty, and I do realize that. We have a Leo hanging out here in the back. I think he played a little bit too far back to start off the game and didn't support until everybody was almost all dead. So, my team's finally moving up. CDC moved up. This is a nice thing to have not only a teammate and a TD, but also having TDs that do pay attention. They don't have shots anymore, and they're not hanging out in the back waiting for shots. So they've moved up. Um, they're getting in positions to shoot. And as a TD player, this is what you need to be doing. Obviously, you can't be hanging out in the bush if everything that you're trying to shoot is outside of your view range, and or at least the render range. And if you're not, you're just screwing yourself. But that's the great thing about these guys is that they moved up once they realized they didn't have shots, and now they're up here supporting from all over. We're trying to keep things lit here as much as possible. Get some nice damage in on the Scorpion G. He's down to 91 hit points, and by now you notice that the majority of them have run now to the other side, and we've pretty much mopped up this side rather effectively in about 3 minutes. Um, Now with all these TDs, you don't want to get them hanging out there in the open as little as possible. This SU 101, I'm not quite sure if he was. I don't know what his deal was. Typically, where Mill Hill's sitting in a bush up there waiting for lights, because that's what I do as a light tank. Um, he didn't. He moved in, and now he's simply just getting wrecked by everything. So I know he's taking shots. I need to move up. I need to spot things. Um, as a light tank player, it's always best to try to stay alive as long as you can. I mean, the longer you're alive, the better chance you have of winning a game, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm lighting, but I'm not trying to break cover where I can at least last long enough. So Mill finishes off the Leopard 1, and we have a pretty good chance here of certainly of winning it. But then again, I can never say that for a fact because a lot of weird shit happens in World of Tanks. So Flash B moves up, empties part of his clip into the one M103, and then he goes. Yeah, he's kind of hiding behind a rock. 4 tanks left, and the town finally pushes all the way up. They finally have the numbers with an IS-3 and the Mosh here. E5 or E3 is actually hanging out here. And I really don't have much of a chance for the pen here, and I'm trying to, as much as possible, to try to hit his track, to at least keep him tracked. Switch to the premium round. Hopefully that's going to go in, which isn't always necessarily true. Hit his track, but I don't have enough to take it off. The Foch B, he's playing rather aggressively here. So about this time I decided I better get involved and try to help him out. Wow, he already died. Mill puts a nice shot into him. I get to the side, finish him off, and leaving 2 tanks left. So might as well charge in. Damage is always good. Nail Wheezy 132 in the ass. A little bit of a ram. Gets another 269 hit points out of him. And finish him off. Put him in about 3,700. We have the Mosh in here left. Hopefully maybe get one more shot in. And end the game here. So, coming around the corner, find the Mosh and puts a nice shot into him. I actually ended up with one of the blind shots. I ended up with just a little bit over 4K. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed. If I do play light tanks, and I do enjoy light tanks, don't get me wrong, I tend to be more of an active scout. So on this tank, I typically run rammers, vents, and coated optics, and play the tank at quite a bit more aggressive than a lot of light tanks have a tendency to do, being that most of them like to sit in a bush and hang out. So hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will be posting some more here a little bit later. I got some great games and a chronovons for you guys to enjoy, so we'll talk to you guys later.